I saw a picture of you the other day on this stage from 2006 when you were about 4, talking about karting. I hadn't seen it since then.
Big round cheeks as well, I remember.
Yeah.
Overweight.
And a brilliant pink jumper. Yeah, classic. Graeme, Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Let me start with you. Describe how Marussia fared in 2013. Did you meet the expectations? Sum up the year for us.
Well, first of all, hello to everybody, and thanks for coming across. Yeah, hello to you too. 2013 was a really important year for us because it was important to move forward. You know, Formula One's incredibly difficult, and it is meant to be. It's the pinnacle of motor racing. You know, we knew the job that we had, or the task that we had in hand when we came in as a newer team. And the important thing is to just keep moving forward, and then all of a sudden you realise you're in the middle of the pack, and you know, and from there it goes. So the good thing for us was to actually make a step forward in the championship. We finished ahead of another team, and the key thing now is to keep that momentum going forward.
It's very important, isn't it, to point out or to remind people, they will know because they're massively knowledgeable, 10th in the Constructors' Championship is a big deal.
Yeah, you know, the way the finances work in Formula One, which is something obviously that happens behind the scene. The position you finish in the championship is really, really important, and coming in the top 10 makes a big difference for the team moving forward. But I think, to be honest, when Max and Jules crossed the line in Brazil, the main emotion in the team is a sporting one. You know, you want to beat the other guys. You know, we love motor racing the same that everybody else here does, and you know, when you're in a race, you're not really thinking of the balance sheet and the spreadsheets and this and the other. You're thinking of competition, and so that was a really good thing for everyone in the team to just have that feeling back again. And it's a nice thing, it's a good thing, and it's a reward for all the people who worked so hard in the team.
And this is sort of by way of confirming the announcement that Max is staying. Great news to have the continuity for another season.
Yeah, you know, we wanted to come here. We wanted to be as near to the fans as we possibly could to confirm Max as our Formula One race driver for 2014 season. And there's a reason for that. We, as a smaller team, you know, we like to think we're more approachable, more accessible, and also when we get support from fans, and I'm sure people can relate to this, when you've got a massive task ahead of you, knowing that you've got support is really, really good, and everyone in the team feels it. We've got 200 people in our team, and some of the other teams have got 600 or 700 people. So there's a lot more intimacy in our team, and we were, you know, when we talked about it, we thought this would be a good time to confirm that Max is staying with the team. We're extremely happy that he's with us, and we move into 2014 with the same 2 drivers.
Max, great to have you at the show. You must be pretty happy with how 2013 went. You finished every Grand Prix, which is some sort of record, I think, for a rookie, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon. It's great to announce it in front of all the British fans, and fans from all around the world come to this show. It's a big show, and it was great to have done that here today. I'm obviously very happy to be back at Marussia. I think the job we did last year was actually very impressive for what we have. As Graeme just said, we have only 200 people at the team compared to 600 or 700 at other teams, and for them to have built such a reliable car last year for me, to finish every Grand Prix in my rookie season, which is a record in Formula 1 which will never be beaten. It can be equalled but never be beaten. And I think that's just outstanding for the resources they have. So we all know next year is going to be pretty stirred up with the rule changes. And if we can carry that reliability on into at least the first half of the season, I think that will open us up some points. We only have to get a few things right to build a good car, and the top teams only have to get a few things wrong, and I hope that does happen, and we have some good close racing, at least in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you compared very favourably with Jules Bianchi, your teammate, because he's highly rated. You must be very happy with that.
Yeah, obviously we all know Jules is very fast. He's been on the Ferrari Academy since he was a wee lad down here, and he is very quick. And when I found out he was going to be my teammate, for sure I had a big task in hand, but I'd be rather judged against the best and kind of someone which was easy to beat. That's been my kind of career. I've always stepped up maybe a bit too early, but raced against the best and learned the best. And it develops you as a better driver. And so I learned a lot last year, started to improve my pace, and I think that's why Marussia were happy to take me again for 2014.
And of course, the technical collaboration with Ferrari is very important. You're kind of on the greatest team in history's radar, aren't you, with that?
Yeah. I remember when I was a little kid rolling around on the Playroom 4 watching this famous red car win every races, and that was Michael Schumacher. I always wanted to win, and now I'm driving a car with one of those engines. It's
red. So
it's red as well.
You're nearly there.
We're nearly there. So it's fascinating. I never thought 5 years ago I was going to be driving a Ferrari-powered Formula 1 car, but I am. But it's an amazing experience, and I can't wait to actually drive the car in Jerez, because we really don't know how it's going to go. Yeah,
that's the big talking point, isn't it, Graeme? Technically, there's a massive hit of the reset button to be done, and I've never known at this time of year a feeling of we just have got no idea at all.
No, it's good, isn't it? The rule change is going to present massive challenge to all the teams, but it is a shake-up, and that gives a chance to a smaller team as well. You mentioned, we've signed a long-term agreement with Scuderia Ferrari, and that has been it's been a joy to work with them so far. We've been incredibly pleasantly surprised at just the level of dedication and commitment from them. The new car looks great. I have to say, this is a great time of year to be in the factory, because every day you go in, you see the car slowly growing in parts every day. So it's quite exciting. I think the car looks really, really good, and I don't think anyone's going to know. Anyone at all is going to really know until end of qualifying in Melbourne as to where everybody's at.
Max, how are you envisaging the change in technique and style and application for the new cars? Because they are so different.
Yeah, they're so different, I don't really have a clue myself. They're going to be pretty demanding. We haven't actually driven the car in the simulator yet, so I haven't really got a clue how it's going to perform. The car's got a lot more torque. We've got less downforce. The car's heavier, so it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be a bit of a handle to drive, but I like a car which is loose and driving around sideways. Obviously, I don't want to go completely sideways, but I like to feel the car moving around underneath me. That's more of my route, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Less downforce is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good for us.
Yeah, that's why the racing and these cars in front are so spectacular.
Yeah, that's right. And you've got to manage the fuel very, very carefully, haven't you? The efficiency and the strategy will become a real sort of scramble, won't it?
I think that's going to be the real eye-opener for at least the first half next year. We don't really know whether the cars are going to be able to finish the races. Last year we had 160 litres, 160 kilos of fuel, and now we're limited to 100 throughout the race. And obviously the engines have reduced, but that's a huge reduction in fuel. That in the races we're going to have to be lifting off for at least a couple of seconds before we hit the brakes, just to save that fuel.
And the engines are only 800 cc smaller, aren't they? And they're turbocharged, which makes them more efficient. It's
highly complex. There is still an internal combustion engine in there somewhere. Just really quite small. A really large kinetic energy recovery system. So for everyone who's familiar with the KERS device that's been on the cars for a few seasons, it's a kind of really large version of that. And then there's a thermal energy recovery device as well, which is primarily used to spin the turbo. So it's very, very complex. I think from a fan perspective, we're really hopeful that the end result is going to be exciting racing. The technology is very interesting and it's there for a purpose, and the fuel efficiency is something that should be applauded. It is very, very clever. But hopefully, at the end of 2014, what we all want to be turning around and saying to each other is, wasn't that a brilliant racing year? And hopefully it's close racing, and there hasn't been enough of that, I think, over the last few seasons, and so hopefully this could help shake things up a bit.
Quick on-the-spot question: where do you envisage you'll be? What are your aspirations? Where do you want to finish? First, obviously, but
yeah, yeah. You know what? It is impossible to answer that sensibly until after qualifying in Melbourne. And I'm not avoiding the question. It's just impossible to answer.
I tried. And you want to score points, don't you? Obviously.
Yeah, we'd love to score points. Marussia coming into their 5th season now, and we're yet to score a point. We've been very close, but I think this year we really have got a chance. I know we were saying it last year. We did come close, but I think the way that the rule changes have happened this year, I think we're in for a good chance.
It's just reliability, isn't it? That is the reason why 4 seasons in you haven't scored a point. The cars just fail so infrequently now.
Yeah, if you look at, I think Sauber's first ever race way back, without any question, someone in the audience will know this and I won't, but whichever year they started, their first ever Grand Prix, they came 7th and scored a point, but they were 2 laps down and came last. And, that doesn't happen anymore. There's regularly now races where everybody's classified. So it's such a different game now.
Yeah. Great to see you guys. Thank you for joining us. Have a really good season, won't you? Max Chilton, ladies and gentlemen, and Graeme Lowdon from Marussia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.